see, I'm so loyal to people. Maybe I'm loyal to a fault, but I'm so loyal to people that when somebody's slightly disloyal to me, I look upon it as a great act of horror.
And how are you different than you were 3 or 4 years ago?
Well, I used to say, and in fact, I think I said in my first book that, and maybe this was foolish, but I really meant it, that someday I'd like to maybe lose everything for a period of time to see who's loyal and who's not loyal. And I found out a lot of things.
Did you find out who's loyal and not loyal?
I tell you what, and you can't guess it. You can't predict it. You think certain people would be loyal no matter what, and it turns out that they're not. And you just can't predict it. It's very difficult.
And that
I think I would have treated people differently. I think that, some of the people that were most loyal to me are people that I didn't think would be. Some of the people that were least loyal to me are people that I think I would have treated them differently. I think I would have treated different groups differently. I would have wiped the floor with the guys that weren't loyal, which I will now do, which is great. I love getting even with people, but I will.
You love getting even.
Oh, absolutely. You don't believe in the eye for the eye. You do.
No.
I know you well enough. I think you do. But anyway, but
tell me. You're going to get even with some people.
Yeah, I know, if given the opportunity, I will get even with some people that are disloyal to me. Come on, Governor. Even though you didn't endorse me.
He's not forgotten.
I never forget.
We've caught them all.
Hello everybody, what happened here? Oh, hold on a second. We're missing somebody. Where'd you go?
Uh-oh.
Where did you go?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Ah, you are hiding.
I was.
How you doing, Becky?
Good, good. How are you doing now that I'm here?
Yeah, now that you're here. Not bad. But, oh my gosh. Anything exciting going on? Are you exhausted from all that's
There's a lot of stuff going on all the time. What are you talking about?
All the time. You know what? Before I forget, I noticed, since you're into astrology, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Saturn and Jupiter supposed to be lining up?
Yeah, the conjunction.
That's right.
They're going to meet up.
And how often do they do this?
Oh, it's like Well, you know what? They were together in January, I think. I think it was January.
Mhm.
Or earlier this year, and then they meet up again. So, because Saturn went retrograde, it went backwards, and then now it's, you know, I believe it's moving forward. I should know that on my cam. I don't know, but it's a pretty big deal because the alignments that are happening now are ones that happened back when we had when the war. There was I think it was World War II or the Civil War. They were aligned, so it's this. The energy that's coming from the stars is super changing, and then because Saturn's moving out of a sign and going into a different sign, that makes a big shift in like everything, like throughout the world. So it's not just personal changes in your life; it's kind of like collectively changing. So
Did you see chats? Becky goes, Uranus is coming into power.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fucked.
Uranus, yes. That they all meet. I think they meet all together, and that's more of an intense thing. But they met together because now Uranus is in Taurus, and Jupiter and Saturn are in Capricorn.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way because I remember seeing it, but I forgot when it was. That's you said this in January.
Yeah, it was. They all met together, the three, because now Uranus is out of the sign, out of Capricorn. Oh no, it's Pluto. Sorry, not Uranus. Uranus it's so slow that it's been there forever. So it's Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter.
Right. Well, Pluto is like so far away from the sun, the gravitational pull is probably not as strong.
It's still you could be amazed. Sometimes it does affect it. It's Pluto's a destroyer. He will destroy everything that you think is put together pretty good, but it's not.
You didn't get that, did you?
No. What was that? I missed it.
I said Pluto is destroyer, and I said, well, yeah, especially if it goes into Uranus, it will.
Yeah, especially when it goes by Uranus.
Oh God. Okay, now that we got the astronomy out of the way,
yeah,
I really wanted. I love astronomy. I love all the planets and shit like that, and you know, and I saw that, and I knew it doesn't. I knew it wouldn't happen for a while. You said the last time this happened, Civil War?
Yeah, it's when authority and the government, everything is just chaos. Yeah.
No. Hey, maybe there's something to that, you know? But anyway, welcome everybody. It is kind of a new night, kind of getting resituated, and Beth is not available today, so Becky's been gracious enough to join us and fill in the spot. I appreciate it very much.
No worries.
And
my pleasure.
You know, there's Jupiter and Saturn are going to be the closest intimate in 800 years. It is, man. That's a long time. But with all the different things going on, I swear, I mean, here, I want to do something a little different than everybody else. I've always wanted to do that. And everybody's talking about the same thing, the elections. We'll talk a little bit about it. And current events and all that. But, you know, you got to mix it up. Otherwise, it gets really boring. And everybody's just talking about the same thing over and over. So it's not bad to mix it up, is it?
No, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
See, how many shows start off with astronomy?
You know what? I don't know. I haven't really heard.
Well, maybe NASA, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're one up on them. How about that?
Yep. Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that's going on, I personally think that it has to do with the planetary alignments, for sure.
Well, the last time it was during the Civil War, I think you're right. I mean, it's very weird in itself compared to what we're going through now.
Mm-hmm. There were a few astrologers that had predicted some sort of virus or some sort of disease that would be spread. They didn't know like exactly details, but the general, like something health-wise, a virus, disease, some sort of something with, according to our health, was going to impact like everything. And the economic stuff that was predicted, that they could tell when certain things are going to kind of shake up your finances. And the government, pretty much, Yeah,
that usually happens. Rocky said we just dodged a large solar flare.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I didn't even hear about that. Usually we do, because it does affect our satellites and everything.
All the satellites that are up in the sky now? The
Yep.
gazillions? The gazillions?
Well, I think that's going to be, I mean, I don't know your take on it, but do you think Space Force could be used to clean up some of that crap up there?
No. Well, you know what? No, I take that back. Yes, but will they? No, I don't think so.
Probably not. Well,
anything good for us? I mean,
well, yeah. Well, we do have. Okay, have you ever you've seen Star Trek, haven't you?
Yeah,
they use polymer adhesive glass. We can now make it.
Really?
Yes, I just saw it a day ago. Instead of like 6 or 7 inches thick, they can make it like 5 to 4, and that's up in the space station. Polymer.
That's crazy. That's definitely crazy. But I believe all movies, all shows with things like that, they're just kind of like it's like predictive programming. We gotta get a little feel of it, and then so I think Star Trek is like basically our future, our near future.
Well, they really did work with NASA on a lot of the stuff, because obviously it's come true. It's the reality we all live now on. Before I also forget, thank you everybody for joining. We kind of went onto a fork in the road here. Sorry about that. Everybody, welcome to the show and everything. Now, when we talk about Star Trek and all that kind of stuff, we're kind of seeing a lot of new surgical instruments. We're using lasers for surgery now. We do it for cataracts and everything. Just jump in and say, shut up and take over. You.
Who, me?
You.
Oh, no. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm used to being bossed around, so.
Yeah, you are the talker. I'm trying to fix my little screen here so I can see everybody's chat.
And so, didn't you find something on like nanonites?
Yeah. So, what I had come across was Celeste Solemn. She's been into gardening. She does a lot of like gardening stuff, and she noticed she comes from a background with military. Her dad was in the military, so she's kind of used to all that kind of like she's not very scared of the military, so she kind of knows what can happen and stuff. So she was aware of certain things happening with the technology of how they wanted to kind of change merge the AI or some sort of just kind of alter everything with, especially once the GMOs hit. She kind of figured, our food's tainted, everything's tainted. So with this vaccine coming out, she was kind of worried, and so she started looking up, and she did a lot of research, and there's a few articles. So the was it the World Economic Forum has this plan. The UK has this plan that they want to kind of with the vaccine and everything, kind of go all digital. So there's gonna be with the, what is it called, the little patch, with the vaccine. Do you remember what it's called?
No, I don't know really too much about it, to be honest.
But the vaccine also has nanoparticles that it's kind of like freaky. Like, I don't know. I'm still not, like, I don't want to say it out loud, but it's some stuff that it's interesting to research and stuff, and it's good to know, not to be fearful of it, but just to know what's in the vaccine, what are they putting in things that we consume and put on our bodies, and a lot of it has like nanotechnology has like expanded so much that it's the things that they want to do and the things that they have in their plan. It's crazy. It's they want to be able to detect if you have the vaccine or not, and with the nanoparticles already in your body, it's kind of like a smartwatch. It kind of like takes your measurements or your temperature and your readings or whatever, and the biometrics, that's what it was, and they'll get it instantly, and they'll know if you haven't had a shot. If you have, I did come across this this patent or this medical experiment or paper that they want to, there's this new incentive for working out. Have you ever seen those apps that you run and it gives you like a point, and then you add up your points and then you get a star or whatever?
Oh yeah.
So there's this new, they want to incorporate like that, like they'll read you, and it's the same thing, but maybe not even have a watch. Maybe it'll just be you.
Really? See, I think that's, I've heard a lot about this. It's basically to track us. So they gotta make it fun for us to get, right?
Yeah, well, Snapchat is basically, and even with the little emoji people, the faces, the reading of the face and the scanning, and then it creates your, you beautiful, and then you could look like a dinosaur or whatever. But that's basically just reading your it's mapping your face and logging it in.
Yeah, that's all we need. Well,
Yeah.
Well, at my school, we have like the screen where you just stand in front of it, and it gives you a little green light that you ain't got the coof and crap. They
have that?
They got it.
I thought it was just a temperature thing.
Yeah, it is. But you just stand in it, and it has like dots to outline your head.
Yeah.
So we got that, which This is not good.
So fancy.
It is. Well, well, it's better than, with the restrictions that we all have right now. I think our governor's trying to extend ours. But
yeah, our governor tried. I mean, it was so funny because I'm on the Nextdoor app. I have that, so it's just like, community, local people, and the comments in their chat is like, oh, there's a new lockdown. We even got an alert on like an Amber Alert. Do you guys get those?
For we do for missing kids.
Yeah, well, your phone sirens off, and I thought that's what it was, and I look at my phone and it was like, COVID spreading, so be safe, stay indoors,
yeah.
And I was like, where's the missing kid? Like, I don't have time to, alert me if there's a missing kid, or there's monsters coming out of mountains, that I need to know. But yeah. I mean, it was general. It was dumb.
Well, they ain't the smartest chip off the old block. They're kind of like the mud when it comes to intelligence. But when it comes to it's like the nanobots.
Yeah.
Getting back to Star Trek, it's gonna be like the Borg. We're all gonna get green skin, more than likely.
I think we're gonna glow. I don't know. I think there was some article stating how are they gonna be able to read? What are they gonna do? So it's a red. What are they called? Infrared.
Infrared, yeah.
Scanner, and then that's how they'll be able to.
You could do that without them, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we have cameras that have infrared on it. But I mean, if we glow in the dark, we can go out in the woods and we'll be fine and find our way back. That's always a good thing.
I know, but then my kids will know where I'm at.
I know. I know. It's just like you got to put extra clothes on just to hide.
Layer it up.
You sent me a video, and I found a couple more. You want me to show them? Kind of give people an idea.
Go for it.
I don't know. I know I got to fix my my music for my diamonds. That is not good. I missed my song already.
Why is it still making sound?
Is it what?
I'm getting alerts on my computer. I didn't know. I don't know how to turn it off. Can you hear that?
It's nanobots.
It's the nanobots in my computer.
The nanobots. I gotta move your box. Okay, there we go. Whoops, moved you too far.
Hey!
You're moving and grooving.
Incorporating live cells in a synthetic three-dimensional scaffold is critical for tissue engineering. And achieving this in real time via a self-propelling micro-robot allows for future applications in remotely guided cell therapy, including spinal cord injury treatment and site-directed drug delivery. In Advanced Materials, Dr. Sarvesh Kumar Srivastava and his co-workers from the Technical University of Denmark's Eduon Center of Drug Delivery describe their thread-like radical polymerization-based micro-robot, or TrapBot, which can capture and transport live cells to a desired location. Much like a spider weaving a web, these microbots can spit out thread-like gel to trap living cells and incorporate them in their hollow microcylinder. This microcylinder is about 200 micrometers in diameter. It also contains the ingredients for the cell-trapping gel, which creates a long, thread-like structure, while nickel layer allows for magnetic guidance. Once a staple of science fiction, thanks to this...
Great, now we'll be setting off all the alarms at the airport.
This research, microbots can perform a variety of functions, including tissue grafts, in the near future.
I think it's actually pretty interesting, but no thanks.
Yeah, the hard thing is, they're doing such like extreme studies and it's really good. At first it's like, that's amazing. That's some good studying and research and good job for them to figure it out. But I don't know.
Well, I mean,
things can turn south real quick though. Like,
yeah.
And they're known to not really think about,
I mean, I can understand. I mean, it looks good if you have like a serious car accident. You can have fast repair. But why would you want that in you? How do you get it out? They don't want it out. That's the whole deal.
Yeah, it's such, it's a hard decision because, some people can really benefit from that. But on the other hand, it's in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to trust them because of the things that they've already done.
Well, I've also seen where they're it's kind of like a how do you want to? It's how a processor looks like, how it has the teeth. Well, I've seen where they kind of grab onto something, and kind of work it with it, like the nanoprobes.
Right.
I will still pass. I will very much pass. Hey, if you just take care of yourself, you won't get hurt. That's how I see it. But, I think, and a lot of people has said this, is they're just using it to track us, control us as usual. People like Antifa, hey, shoot them up. They need to be tracked.
Yeah. Things like that, yeah, absolutely.
It would actually, even if you're like one of those sex offenders, shoot the probes in them, then you can track them a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Now that would be useful.
Right, yeah. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
But that they're not going to just use that for that, so
no.
It sucks.
They're like Dr. Evil, They got much more sinister plans for all of this. And and I think, if they also could do it for illegal aliens, anybody who's crossed the border who...
Yeah, damn Mexicans.
I
Make
know.
sure to tag. Just kidding. Just kidding. Because that's where they're coming from, right?
Huh?
That's where they're coming. They're running from. They're coming in.
Most of them, but then they're coming from Canada too.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, I mean, if they want to go to the other side of the border, go for it. But if you could track them for like, how they claim, the Democrats, they like to claim that they're gonna make sure they're at that court the next day and they never show up. Well, that way you would be able to. Well,
that's what happens with at the border. They get arrested and then they release them, saying, "All right, well, come back on your court date in a few days." And then, think I'm gonna come back?
Yeah, they never do.
No.
Maybe 20, 25 years later, possibility.
Once they get caught again, but even I mean, because I know I know that personally, my sister was dating somebody and he got deported and he was back several times, but that's the thing, it's well, what's the problem then if they're coming back? It's kind of like, well, we got to like figure out some sort of other system than just, hey, come back tomorrow, it's clock out time,
right.
So I don't know.
Well, you hear a lot where a lot of illegal aliens are actually like killing people, like drunk drivers, and gangs, MS-13. Okay, give it to them. No problem. Leave the rest of us alone. This whole coup crap is going to be blown over. In fact, because everybody gets sick, they want to claim they got it. It's never just a cold or the flu.
Did you notice that the flu's like doesn't exist? It's like super, super low.
I know, it just doesn't exist anymore.
COVID cured all sorts of diseases.
Well, of course, it's a super, super smart virus. It's
smart.
Incredibly smart. As long as you're writing, protesting, it's never going to touch you. I got another video for you about some of the road dangers, or possible road dangers of all of this as well.
Hacking humans with nanotechnology may sound like a concept from a futuristic science novel or movie, but the truth is, it's not that far off, and it could be the next big cyber threat. How so? Keep watching and find out. Nanotech, a recap. Nanotechnology is any technological endeavor that deals with anything with a dimension of fewer than 100 nanometers. While the concept was first brought to light in the late 1950s, it wasn't until the late 1980s that technology advanced enough to actually allow scientists to work in such a small field. Nanotechnology has several applications, including food, technology, fuels, batteries, environmental causes, chemical sensors, and even sporting goods. The medical field is one of the most exciting for nanotechnology at the moment, though most developments are still in the experimental phase. With these developments comes the ever-present technological risk of hacking. Nanotech in humans. Building new muscle with carbon nanotubes is one such possibility. Scientists at IBM are also working on using nanotechnology to analyze DNA in just minutes, instead of weeks, to treat cancer patients with a customized treatment plan. We're also seeing the use of nanotech in chemotherapy or vaccines to target specific types of cells in the body, where experimental nanosponges are being tested to absorb toxins in the body. Nanotech is also being explored as an early diagnostic tool to detect cancers and infectious diseases long before our current technology is able. Some ideas include a tiny device that gets injected into the body as a sensor or medical delivery device. This all sounds positive, but there's a downside too. Is it secure? Tiny nano devices are typically controlled by a program on a traditional electronic device like a computer, smartphone, or server, meaning they could be very hackable. Some digital security experts posit that a single nanoparticle in the body with its own processor could be hacked. But they also say that if someone had more than one particle in the body, which many treatments would require, a hacker could theoretically turn them into a network in the body, using the body's own systems to communicate and do their bidding. One of the most obvious and dangerous applications for biomedical hacking is ransomware. If a hacker took over your inner nanotechnology devices, they could demand a ransom with fatal consequences. If you're unable or unwilling to pay, they could easily turn your body against you, and at the very least make you suffer or get sick, if not kill you. It may also be possible for unsavory characters to use nanotechnology itself against their enemies, not only in hacking attacks such as inhalable particulate powders to treat lungs. Some worry this technology could be an easily weaponized delivery method for bioterrorism efforts beyond the hacking danger. Getting infected with something could be as simple as breathing the air, taking a shower, or getting a regular vaccination from your doctor. Mitigating the risks. The most powerful thing that needs to happen to lessen the risk of hacking with nanotechnology is legislation to regulate the types and strength of security required on nanomedical devices, and even the function of devices that will be allowed. Medical device manufacturers who wish to ensure that their devices are not likely to get hacked should do proper penetration testing. Though this area is still in its infancy, we can use the term nanomedical technology, nanomedical hacking, and others that truly describe what it is until something else comes along. The term biohacking sounds like the perfect term to describe hacking medical technology, but it actually refers to do-it-yourself biology. This is a self-improvement technique that uses diet, exercise, and mental techniques to hack the body to improve mood, health, and overall life satisfaction. Neobiology may suffice, as it generally refers to any new advance in biological technology. Nanotechnology and medical device hacking would certainly fall under this umbrella, but the umbrella is very large. Lastly, it could also fall under the Internet of Things label, but this is a broad term, so it doesn't exactly define it. Risk realism. Has there been a true case of medical device hacking? The answer at this point is not clear, but there have certainly been crippling hacks of medical centers. At this point, the risk seems to be mostly theoretical, though it's just a matter of time before black hat hackers pick up on what white hat hackers have been researching and trying to prevent. Some experts believe it's only a matter of time before something fatal happens involving the hacking of a medical device, and that only then will medical providers and legislators take this issue seriously. As mentioned before, penetration testing is one of the best ways to find vulnerabilities in medical devices and ensure that your products are as secure as possible. Alpine Security offers a full range of penetration testing, including in the medical field. If you'd like to be on this cutting-edge field of security and tech...
See, I think that is astounding, but
no, thank you.
really, really scary.
Yeah, and the fact that they're like, yeah, somebody can hack into the system, ask you for ransom, things, we don't know.
Well, it makes spying a whole lot easier if they could do that. Now, remember at the debate how black Biden's eyes were? He was using Google.
He was wearing the contacts with the readable. That's creepy.
From Google, of all places. Well, it's only.
No, go ahead.
It's only been a couple of years where they had like glasses like you and I wear, where you
with the little thingy.
Yep.
The little lens.
Yep.
When they first came out, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I want some, and then I was like, after watching a few movies and remembering, it's in the movies, Becky. That's supposed to be in the movies, not in real life, But
well, it looks like something like from Mission Impossible. Really does, and I'm sure they've had it on that movie some point in time. But
they've been playing with stuff so high tech for years, forever. Like, it's amazing.
It really is. How the hell are we advancing so quickly?
How are they? How did they get away with telling us that we're so not advanced, like, for so long? And they've been behind the curtain. They've been like,
Area 51, man. Area 51.
Yeah.
It's got to be something. I mean,
yeah.
How much we're going to get to a point where we are going to be almost robots with all this kind of stuff. And as that dude said, that it's going to be so much easier for espionage that it's really going to be triple scary.
Yeah.
I mean, look. Sorry.
I've gotten to I've found myself like, I'll catch myself going like, oh my gosh, like the future. Like, I don't know, what are the, I could just picture like all this bad scenario where this can just go completely south. If they do end up going through with the vaccine, and then say we do, because once we're genetically modified, which is basically having the nanobots and nanotechnology within us, we're able to be patented. So they could be like, oh, I own you because I put my chip in you. And, so then what do they get? What else? It just goes extreme, and what are they doing to mosquitoes and bees and the food? They're not very nice.
Well, I've seen another video. I haven't had a chance to watch it, and I thought about playing it, but it was a little tiny robot, like a fly robot,
What?
And
What?
but don't they like already patent everything else, like diseases and everything else?
Well, they're not supposed to patent like living things, like, or plants, anything, you know, human and natural, and they can't patent that. It's you know, but they've gotten away with, you know, they patent all the food because it's genetically modified. Now they own it. You know, now with the viruses or the diseases or the vaccines, if they created them or they altered them somehow, maybe a little bit, you know, there's a patent on it. So basically that they own it, so they could do whatever. And if somebody else does, you know, they're not allowed to mess with it. So now it's like they roam free. And so that's the scary part. And yeah, you know, they are hiding a bunch of stuff, you know, that they have done so much research, and just classified them. They just put them in, you know, sealed them up, taped them up, put them in the drawer, and there are cures, but they're not going to make any money if we're all good and, you know, healthy.
That's true. I'm not sure. Was it you who said that? I mean, you're pretty smart and you've studied a lot of this stuff. And didn't you? I thought you were the one who told me they patented like the corona.
Yeah, the coronavirus. It was the. See, I'm not sure how that's even possible. It's the extraction of the coronavirus from any human or any living thing. They've patented like the procedure or the whatever. I don't know if it's like the device maybe, or I don't know, but it's extracting it from the body or from a living thing that they have patent over. So they get to choose who. Because I guess the companies that want to test it or whatever, they have to ask them, right? Because they own it,
right?
To be able to take it out, and then they get to pick. No, I don't want you to do it, or let's do business here and there, you know. So, which totally, I mean, follow the money.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, you know, did you know? And this is when you mentioned. Zuckerberg, that he had what state was it for Arizona? Was it Arizona or one of the states that he had purchased the D machines to check a box and then put it in to say I want that person to be the POTUS.
No, I didn't know that.
He bought all the D machines.
No shit.
I just found that out today.
Dang. No, I had no idea. You learn something new every day.
So now he's in it because he bought them.
Well, that'll make it easier to
$4 million. Like it was a gift or like some sort of, you know, here you go. Have some money.
Oh, it's just a little gift, huh?
Yeah.
Just $1 million.
And they purchased them.
That's all.
It was crazy. I was like, what? I mean, so evil. Evil.
Oh, he's an evil bastard. I already knew that. I mean, that's only half of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But,
no, I won't take the... somebody asked it, will you take the vaccine? No. Sorry. I'll pass.
No.
I'll eat some more oranges.
Well, that's like Whitmer was on today, playing her little violin. We're all suffering. Oh, the sooner we can all wear masks, the freer we'll be, and this will be over. Blah 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 blah. And you know, and she is just laying it on thick. And she did talk about the vaccine. It's not going to be mandatory for now. And I know a teacher who said since she is a nurse, she would have to get it.
That's what I heard too.
It's kind of like a TB shot. Everybody has to get that to work in the health industry.
Yeah.
I'd rather get a TB shot.
We need them. They're the ones that are going to help us when we're sick. Don't kill them off, please.
No, can't do that. But
and there was a the Celeste Solom. She was talking about how with the masks, what if, because we know that they're not the material, the whatever chemicals they put in the factory, they're manufactured,
Mm-hmm.
I heard that there's formaldehyde on the face nets, the medical ones, not the other ones, but like the medical ones. And she mentioned, they could start, sprinkling a little, nano dust,
Mm-hmm.
and then because I guess we need a lot in order for them to start like controlling or having some sort of effect with, whatever the computer that they're gonna, use to control it. But
right.
Until we get, that amount, they're trying to figure out how to, get us loaded with it. So one thing was the whole mask thing, wear the mask,
right.
breathe those in. But
yeah, that's all we need.
It's in the air, it's in our food, it's in our products.
Mm-hmm.
So
formaldehyde?
No, the nanobots.
Oh, nanobots.
Yeah. So, I guess they form. They structure, like it's all little bits, and then they inject you, and then they like come together, and then they form. So.
Oh, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I have a joke for that first one, but I'm not going to say it out of respect for you ladies. I'm not going to say it. I know a lot of other people would.
What joke?
Well, it kind of looked more like a swimming tampon, but...
Oh, yeah.
See,
it was so funny. Really I was at my in-laws' house, and somebody had a bloody nose, and my niece is like, "Do you want a tampon? Do you know, they just..." I was like, "Why is there a tampon just sitting on the table?" And, "Oh, somebody had a bloody nose." I'm like, "Hey,
that's all.
Hey, whatever works."
You guys are corrupting me. You guys are just turning me into a bad person. No. I normally would. Yeah. It just feels weird. I don't know why. I shouldn't. But for right now, I'm gonna play. As soon as I turn my mouse on, that works. I'm gonna play a commercial.
Sounds good.
Real quick, and we'll be right back.
Have now banned all boogieing and boogie-related movements worldwide. Public safety is the main concern, they say, and people are reminded that boogieing is contagious. Anyone caught boogieing will be dealt with in the harshest terms police have reported. More at 11.
Sometimes this world can get you down. There's just one thing you can do. You gotta get back up and shake it all around. No one's gonna tell me how I'm gonna boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bump it tonight. No one's gonna tell me how I'm gonna boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bump it tonight. No one's gonna tell me how to boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bump it tonight.
One more hour, the morning comes. Faded lights, the sound of drums. Too far alone, too tired back now.
Hey, UK Neil here. Join me on Monday, Wednesday and Friday nights for the Great Awakening show. 5 p.m. US Eastern Time, 10 p.m. UK Time. Get out of that matrix and get a dose of truth. See ya there.
Promises that this will last.
And we're back. And we were talking about masks. And actually, you know, I haven't seen this yet, but Glenn Beck has something about masks. I think it says something about the Marxists put their masks back on. Want to check it out real quick?
Let's watch
Yeah?
it.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Maybe? Yeah? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, play it. No, do it. Let's go.
Yeah, okay. I think we'll play it. Real quick, like. Oh, geez. This is a bugger at times.
I did see regarding the masks something. I'm going to see if I can find it. Send it to you. They've been doing some hardcore studying on the face detection with masks, and they got it.
On the what?
They're on a roll.
What are they
so they
doing?
managed to detect your facial recognition with the mask.
Oh, I heard something about that. Yes, I did.
Don't be trying to hide behind masks because they're still going to detect it. They've managed to figure whatever out. So
yeah, they're a bunch of turds. I swear, they just don't.
It's like they total like, oh, since they're wearing a mask, let's just like work on our like facial detection stuff, and you know, let's get it up to where even if you wear a mask, we'll still be able to you know, do facial recognition.
Well, you know, they do that a lot in China right now.
Yeah.
And I think it was actually on a Boogie show where they said that even though a lot of these people like in Hong Kong are wearing masks to hide, well, they might not be able to do that much longer. I guess they go by your eyes or your nose structure, something of that nature. I can't really remember.
So creepy.
I cannot get the volume. The volume's totally gone on this. Wouldn't you know it?
Uh-oh. That meant don't play it.
I'm going to see if this one will work because...
Hi, it's Sam Barker here from the Motley Fool.
Behind me is Landmark. But while this is winding up... Okay, here it is. Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't working. Well, this is actually about Google and the CIA.
The 3-letter people.
Welcome to another Cold Fusion video. This episode is about two things. Number one, Google, one of the most recognizable brands today. We know them from the operating system on our phones, to their smart home devices, to Google Search, Google Maps and Gmail, and even YouTube itself. They're an organization that's so prevalent that they're almost invisible. And the other thing that this episode is about is the CIA, the same organization that overthrows foreign governments and spies on leaders and citizens. From human rights violations to drug trafficking, the CIA has always been shrouded in mystery and controversy. So what does Google have to do with the CIA? Well, many people may not realize this, but the CIA was directly involved in the foundation of Google. Google co-founder Sergey Brin even reported to representatives of the US intelligence community on his progress. Not only this, but the application that became Google Earth originally had CIA investment. Generally, this is a concerning relationship, but in this episode, we're going to take a deeper look. First of all, let's take a brief look at the CIA.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
After World War II, the United States would face the Soviets in a battle for world supremacy. The invention of the atomic bomb meant that no weapons could be fired in this war, so other methods had to be used. Over the next 40 years, a period known as the Cold War would begin. No shooting, just subversive tactics. In the mid-1940s, the President of the United States, inspired by the efforts of the UK's MI6 during World War II, would sign the National Security Act, which formed the Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA. And right away, the CIA would get to work interfering in international politics. In an effort to stave off communist influence on the global stage, the CIA would interfere with the 1948 Italian elections. They would overthrow the governments of Iran and Guatemala in 1954, Indonesia in 1957, and Brazil in 1964. The CIA also conducted some rather questionable projects on their own people. Project MKUltra, for example, was the CIA's mind control program using, quote, chemical, biological, and radiological methods. Many of the studies within MKUltra focused on the administration of LSD to prisoners, drug addicts, mental patients, along with government agents and the general public, all without their consent.
Documents pried loose in 1979 showed that through a front organization, the Central Intelligence Agency funded what was called the MKUltra project.
The CIA wanted to understand more about brainwashing. It had money and it was ready to fund experiments, breaking down the mind with repeated electric shocks and drugs, including massive doses of LSD.
These experiments were done without the informed consent of the patients.
Lawyer Alan Stein took up some of the rejected cases. The government's paid a number of settlements since. Many of the payments come with non-disclosure agreements.
No, Paul Smith MKUltra did happen. They did some pretty nasty stuff to people.
They're trying to do it quietly.
It's not fair. I mean, I feel blessed that I was able to get this far for my parents. I really do. That's what gives me justice. I'm just grateful to be able to do it, and I just hope that you can hear me up there, because it might bring you peace. It might bring you both peace.
Ultimately, the CIA's goal of using LSD as a mind-altering weapon against the Soviet Union and other enemies never reached fruition. But by the time the project was disbanded in the mid-1960s, hundreds of people were unknowingly drugged and observed. I found this last one pretty entertaining. One of the most embarrassing failures of the CIA was the attempted assassination of Cuba's Fidel Castro.
So, in interviews, Fidel Castro used to say, if surviving assassination attempts were an Olympic sport, I would win the gold medal. Reportedly, more than 600 attempts over his 50 years in power. Now, many of the failed plots were concocted by the CIA.
The CIA tried infecting Castro's scuba gear with tuberculosis, planting exploding seashells at his favorite diving site, slipping him a poisoned fountain pen. They even tried poisoning and slipping a bomb into one of his cigars. All of these attempts were a failure, It was a gigantic waste of time and money, and Fidel Castro was Cuba's dictator for another 49 years, stepping down in 2008 only due to failing health. This is all to say, the CIA may seem formidable, but when it comes down to it, they're not always perfect. With the Soviet Union gone, the CIA's actions today may be less well known, but their influence on the world certainly hasn't gone away. And that brings us to their relationship with Google. In 1994, two PhD students, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, began working on their automated web crawling and page ranking application as part of their research project. They had bet on making the exploding internet easy to access, and it paid off enormously. Sergey Brin's part of the Stanford research was funded by the NSA and CIA. Brin would often report progress to non-Stanford individuals, one of whom was Dr. Rick Steinheiser. Steinheiser represented the CIA's Office for Research and Development to oversee their research funding in a joint CIA-NSA program.
Look at those computers.
It wasn't uncommon at the time for research projects to be funded by the intelligence community. Government intelligence agencies had set up programs and often seed-funded projects. Roughly $3 to $4 million of funding flowed through the intelligence community programs into universities. And while both Google and the intelligence community deny that the CIA directly funded the start of Google, it's evident that the intelligence community's research funding helped not only Google, but Silicon Valley as a whole. There are many ways this relationship is built and preserved. One of the biggest is perhaps the Highlands Forum. There's a good chance that you've never heard of it.
Did you know any of this?
No.
Well, it's new to both of us and probably a lot of other people as well.
But it doesn't surprise me.
Exactly. But it, you know, have you ever heard of what they were doing to Fidel Castro?
No, you know what? I wasn't really I don't know much about anything before. Like, I just started trying to figure out politics and all the stuff, overseas and things that we've been, that the U.S. has been part of, and it's crazy. America, the United States of America is pretty cool. But I don't know. Sometimes when I read up on those stories, I'm like, why are we such a bully? Why do we have to be so mean? But well, it's when you don't understand or know most of the story. So
that's Well, we of course the Bay of Pigs, everybody probably knows, which was CIA funded. But nothing like this.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you think, and it makes you start to think, well, how did it get, why are they so big? Why is Google so big and so in everything? And you got to wonder, well, we obviously know that if with them shutting down all the local mom and pop shops and having only businesses that benefit them and they're involved with, makes only sense. And I always thought, why can't I be a movie star? Why can't I sing? Why can't I make it big? Because it's already put in place. They know, and they get to choose and get to do. Nobody just out of the blue. Everybody's somehow tied in or sold in, or you can't just have a business and have it thrive, because it doesn't make the money. So they only get to pick and choose. And Amazon, Google, Microsoft.
Well, these guys have become such a monopoly. Now China's involved, so that's kind of. I always wondered if that was the main source, but never. I should have figured out the CIA. They're into everything.
Of this forum. But it connects the wider Department of Defense and the intelligence community to the tech startups. This keeps the military and the intelligence community at the cutting edge of tech. Many executives on the Highland Forum hold positions in the CIA, NSA, and many other agencies. Movements from these agencies into Silicon Valley is common. For example, In 2012, the Highlands co-chair, who also worked at DARPA, left the agency to accept a senior executive position at Google.
That's a Chromebook with built-in virus protection, so you can click with confidence.
I'm not going to promote Google. No way.
DARPA? The guy left DARPA to go work at Google?
Email thread made public, Sergey Brin discussed information sharing for the purposes of national security with the head of the NSA.
They might have had a good dental plan.
In 1999, at the peak of the dot-com boom, the CIA launched In-Q-Tel, a Silicon Valley venture capital fund. Its mission was to invest in startups that aligned with intelligence agencies' needs. In 2003, the CIA, through In-Q-Tel, would invest in Keyhole. Keyhole was a startup that built 3D global mapping software. One of its first uses was to support US troops during Operation Iraqi Freedom, the campaign to overthrow Saddam Hussein. The next year, Google bought Keyhole, whose team now included CIA personnel. Google would soon turn Keyhole into the basis for Google Earth. Only a year after the purchase, the director responsible for initially investing in Keyhole at the CIA investing firm In-Q-Tel moved to take a position at Google. During this period, Google would win contracts for different search applications for the NSA and CIA. It's understandable that Google has a relationship with the CIA and many other government agencies. In fact, most tech giants do. At the start of this year, with a looming US election, some of the biggest names such as Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, and Google have had meetings with the FBI, Homeland Security, and the Office of the Director of National Security. Little is known about these meetings, apart from the theme of how tech giants can ensure security for the 2020 elections. Google, for example, has implemented an advanced protection program. This program offers Google's highest protection level to high-risk targets such as journalists, activists, politicians, and business leaders. It effectively makes these accounts less susceptible to hacking risks such as phishing and malware attacks. But perhaps the greatest demonstration of the company's integration into the intelligence community is Google Federal. Google Federal was launched in 2006, and its purpose is to serve federal contracts. At a certain point, this branch of Google had so many former NSA staff that they became known as the NSA West. At its very launch, Google Federal went on a hiring spree, hiring managers and salespeople from the Army, Air Force, CIA, Raytheon, and Lockheed Martin. It added to its lobbying prowess by assembling a team of Democratic and Republican operatives. The strength of the relationship between Google and the intelligence community was graphically highlighted in 2010. At this time, Google came under attack from what was believed to be Chinese government hackers. The NSA came to Google's aid. The two organizations struck up a deal, an exchange of information. According to journalists, quote, Google agreed to provide information about traffic on its networks in exchange for the intelligence from the NSA about what it knew of foreign hackers. Google Jigsaw.
Well, you know what,
That's crazy. I gotta get my notepad. Hold on, because I gotta write stuff down.
Yeah, there you go.
What's super popped out, they went on a hiring spree, and they're we kind of knew that was gonna happen. Of course, Google, internet, it's a new life, it's a new world, so they have to police it and stuff. But to the fact of this intense, this is interesting.
Well, they become a complete monopoly of the tech industry, pretty much. There's a couple new companies popping up, which look really good, and I think I'm gonna look into those to start streaming on and saving stuff. And since YouTube owns Google, or excuse me, the other way around. Yeah, and we are just guinea pigs. I mean, seriously, if you think about it,
we're guinea pigs to science. We're guinea pigs to the healthcare industry. We're guinea pigs to, we're basically just trying things, we don't know for sure. This whole, they don't know. And then they let women smoke cigarettes when they were pregnant, and they were like, yeah, after a while, they're like, yeah, it's probably not a good idea,
Right.
Or drinking, when the alcohol, was booming, when the liquor, started, it was like, oh yeah, don't drive.
I'm surprised they didn't tell us to drive. But, it's when it explains a whole lot now why they're freaking out over the 2020 election.
And they were, that's funny, because if they said, they've been, working on, protecting and making sure it's not hackable, then they obviously did a really sucky job, because it was still messed with, like they were working together for that reason, so nothing would happen. But then again, now it makes you, but it makes you think. You have to ask yourself, well, if they were working on it and making it safe, and it's not safe, and it wasn't, so who is in on it?
Well, see, I think they're having this fear over the 230s, which will allow people to sue them. And Trump has already said, I like this, sorry, whom he says Fang gave Swallow a Dutch oven.
Oh my gosh, Fang. That whole thing is hilarious.
But, when Trump has already gave us the heads up, he wants the 230s in the defense bill. We will get rid of it. It is gone.
Did you see the executive order that he signed?
A couple months ago?
No, today,
recently?
Like yesterday? Today?
Yesterday? No.
I think the date was the 3rd, but it just came, it was just put up on the website. It was regarding AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, he just signed it. So, and it's to protect, that they can't, which totally made me come back and be like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, because he states, you can't, nobody can use it for harming. It's got to be in the best interest of the people, and it can't violate anybody's laws or rules, and the past and present and future projects that they have doing that, it just conditions it to where there should be no evil. You may be nice to other humans. You can't do anything bad. So that was a relief.
Well, did you ever see the movie with Will Smith? What the hell's the name of it? I forgot.
iRobot?
iRobot.
Oh my God, that's scary. Dude, when that came out and I watched it, I was like, oh my God, I swear to God. I'm like, no, that can't be the future. I'm like, no. It's like, oh, man, they're telling us in plain sight. They're giving us the whole plan, their ideas, their dreams and visions.
Well,
it's like,
well, even way back when, probably in the, what was it, mid 80s, they had AI. Maybe that was early 90s, I should say. They were talking about it. Let's finish this up. So a couple more minutes.
Is a division dedicated to combating global threats such as extremism, censorship, and disinformation. But this division has had its missteps. In 2012, as the Syrian civil war was escalating, the intelligence community was pushing for a change of government. In 2016, leaked emails revealed that Google's Jigsaw department brainstormed ways that it could push Bashar al-Assad from power. Among these ideas was a tool that visually mapped and tracked officials who broke allegiance to Assad's government. Jared Cohen, head of Google Jigsaw, planned to show this data on TV networks such as Al Jazeera within Syria. The purpose of this was to serve as propaganda to give confidence to the opposition of Assad. This opposition was, of course, the side that the intelligence community wanted to win. According to Fred Burton, a former intelligence agent at the security branch of the State Department, quote, "Google is getting White House and State Department support and air cover. In reality, they are doing things the CIA cannot do." More recently, Google created a tool to track if users are at high risk of radicalization based upon their internet usage. The tool redirects them to government websites focused on persuading them off their ideas. It seems now, more than ever, Google and other tech giants are blurring the line between corporate and government intelligence. Google's entry into the market makes financial sense. By 2019, the federal government was spending $90 billion a year on information technology. It's a huge market, and Google seems to want to maintain a strong presence. The world in which the CIA and the intelligence community operates is a distant cry from reality and what most people are aware of. Likely, we will never know the full extent of their operations or the events that the CIA had an impact on. From helping overthrow governments to spying on the public, many controversies follow this organization. We didn't even touch on drug trafficking operations during wartime in Asia, Watergate, or the recruitment of former Nazis. That being said, it could be argued that there are just as many less sensationalized activities that have kept peace in the world that the public would never be aware of. Such is the nature of this organization's work. Secretive, enigmatic. As technology and the freedom of information give power to the masses, there is now a rising risk of an adverse technocracy. What hand will tech giants play in this future? And what does this mean for the world and society if private companies begin running intelligence and intervention programs on the public? Many years ago, when I was younger, I used to be fond of Google, but now I look at them differently.
I think a lot of us do.
Thanks to Express.
I honestly, that's the first time I've seen that. It looked interesting, so I grabbed it.
Good call.
But it does fall into the same thing. Pardon?
Yeah, I said good call. Grabbing it.
Well, it goes into the same, they're going to use technology on us. And, you have hard to tell where they're going to go next. They're getting way out of control. I've heard, ideas which don't sound too bad, but in another hand, it's too extreme. Either get rid of the CIA and FBI and collect them into one department. Well, we do need them for something. We need them for intelligence.
Yeah.
When they have it.
They just corrupted it because that was the point, right? That was the point, to have people kind of in charge of making sure everybody's checks and balances. But then all of a sudden it was like, what happened? They got away with certain things and then they just ran with it.
Well, did you know, George?
And that's the thing we have to take in perspective, with the whole vaccine. Yeah, cure, or and then they make it, fluffy and nice, but it's a good thing. But then again, they're going to use it to their benefit. It's not. They're going to corrupt it, And then it's not that there's still side effects, so you still can, and it's not a cure. You're going to be able to get it again, whatever flu or virus there is. There hasn't been a vaccine that has been completely effective, like 100% effective. And we can't expect that, but
Yeah, there's nothing that they don't do that they screw it up.
Yeah.
They do everything for the best for everybody. Then you get some dipshit in there you know, and so, you know, I don't know what there is an answer. I don't know the answer, or if there is one.
Right, yeah. Who knows?
We're always going to have those type of people. In fact, I just heard that NORAD had a cyber attack, but
What's
I don't
NORAD?
know the damage.
What's that? NORAD?
NORAD? You don't know? Well, that's a main defense system, and
For the government?
yeah,
That's not good.
no. Well, NORAD should be more secure than what it is, apparently. I heard no report yet on the damage that now they're saying the Chinese. I don't know, can't tell you. Yeah, there he goes. AE knows. But the what's that? Who me 23 and me? 23 and me is what? Oh, I missed it. It's code name for Fang Fang. You know who Fang Fang is, don't you?
Huh. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, come on. They couldn't pick another different name.
For what?
I mean, they had to go with Fang Fang.
Oh, Fang Fang? I don't know her name.
No, that's her name, Fang Fang.
Oh, that's her own. That's what they use?
Yeah, that's her name.
That's really original. Very original people. That thought they were smarter than that. Could have been.
No.
I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But God have mercy. Well, are we ready to call it a night?
Yeah, sounds good.
Another episode wrap up.
Yeah, I got some notes.
That sounds good. Anything you'd like to add, or before we leave?
Just no. I think that's it. We'll just. It's a lot. It's you know, sometimes I overdo it and I'm reading that and then it goes to this and then I'm just like bombarded with like the unknown of what's going to happen. So I don't know. I think that's pretty. I'm glad we found those videos. So that's a good chunk to process.
Definitely, David. You're right. It's all about the money.
It is.
So I'm gonna open up the chest in D Live. No closing statements. Where they can find you? What you're gonna be doing?
Find me on D Live. I'm on Periscope. Where else? I'm on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
I have I set up a new email address.
Oh, did you?
I did. I finally did. But I could put it in I'll have you put it in the chat.
Yeah, if I learn how to do it. I'm learning different things.
Hey,
with me. I'll learn it.
That's cool.
That's
change my name. Let me see. Hold on. I could put my name. I could change my name.
Yes, you can. You can do it that way.
Watch. Let's see. Hold on. Let me figure it out.
But it's this is a new area for me, and I've learned a lot, and just the small things I got to relearn. It'll get there. David and AE got the lemons and D Live tonight.
Like, let me make sure that's the right one.
Oh, well, while she's figuring that out,
just making sure. Let me double check because it's new. I don't have any spam. It's like 2 emails in there.
It happens. Well, I have a couple, so I know how it goes. But thank you all for joining. Really appreciate y'all coming in. I hope you learned something. That we're all going to be Borgs real soon. We're all going to get green skin. We're going to have like tubes sticking out of our head.
Hey,
something to look forward to in 2021.
Yeah. Oh, and because they've messed up, I will leave for to look into the genetically modified stuff. What do they have what do they put in our look what's in our food, look what's in your stuff that you use. They do want to, there was some article that on the forum for biodiversity, they want to, they're messing with the lights. So we're going to see everything very different, which is scary because,
the lights. What are they doing with the lights?
They're going to make everything more fluorescent. They're just like modifying everything. So they're doing something to the light spectrum. So I don't know.
Why we're going to be glowing from all the nanobites? We're not going to need no lights. We're not going to need any of them.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff out there. It takes curiosity and just an open mind, and you're gonna. I didn't expect this stuff that how deep the CIA was involved with Google, or but it's reality, and sometimes I do fall. I know that I fall into fear, but I still dig in and find out what else is out there. And knowledge is power. Knowledge is to be spread, and the more people know about it, then you're not surprised.
Exactly. And this is your email address?
Yeah. 2020 Walk Your Path.
Okay. Drop her a line.
Yeah.
She'll be back. She'll be on once in a while if she wants. She can come back anytime she wants, really. There's a few people who are more than welcome. And I'm sure there will be a lot more. Thank y'all very much for coming. Just God bless the president, vice president, military, first responders, law enforcement, all of the above. They need our prayers more than ever. We're going to win this battle. We're going to kick their ass in the Supreme Court. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. It's going to happen. Promise. Give you my word. And everybody have a good night, and I will see you all very soon. Adios.
Good night.
Appreciate all of you for coming. Please come back again. Be kind to one another, please.
Yeah, don't be mean.
Please join us on our new times. 10:30 Sunday nights, Tuesday 9 o'clock, Thursday 9